Rickson Gracie once said, "A black belt only covers 2 inches of your ass, you have to cover the rest." A great quote that sums up what Jiu-Jitsu is. It's not a skill, it's a way of thinking, adapting and surviving on the mats and in life. That martial art teaches us through this that no title, no achievement in life is permanent, and the rest of your journey, whether you hold a black belt or not, requires ongoing effort and growth. It isn't just about winning a fight, but about resilience and discipline in everything one does. Originated from martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu has grown from an ancient battlefield art into one of the world's most respected ground martial arts. Starting in feudal Japan and working its way through the world to Brazil, it has seen many revolutions in combat sports, particularly under the name of mixed martial arts. Its effectiveness through leverage and submissions holds allowed smaller fighters to overcome those far more significant than themselves, thus rewriting the rules on what many had thought it looked to be victorious in physical engagement. Nowadays, Jiu-Jitsu has taken athletes from each walk of life and created unity, a brotherhood, respect for one another, and a wow to the art. It's more than a sport, it's a worldwide community based on shared experience and growth. I'm going to take you on a journey through the evolution of Jiu-Jitsu, from its humble beginnings to its role in shaping modern day combat sports, and lastly to where it may take us into the future. First, I'll discuss the historical background of Jiu-Jitsu and how samurai used it for hand-to-hand combat. Next, I'll explore its impact on modern combat sports, particularly in MMA. And lastly, I'll dive into the future of Jiu-Jitsu, looking at how the martial art continues to evolve both in grappling competitions and in the new training methods. So, historical overview of Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu originated in feudal Japan and was developed by the samurai when they were unarmed in combat. Consequently, these armored and armed warriors needed the methods relying on leverage rather than muscular power. Thus, the techniques of Jiu-Jitsu focused on throws, joint locks, and methods that allowed a smaller, unarmed fighter to take down larger opponents. For him, Jiu-Jitsu wasn't just about survival. It was about using technique and strategy to overcome overwhelming odds. Through time, this martial arts form changed early in 20th century. Mitsuyo Maeda, the master from Japan, came to Brazil to visit the Gracie family. The Gracie took all those essential elements of the Jiu-Jitsu and ground them into what became Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Then, another grand contributor changed this very art into something far more superior to be used by more petite guys. Hence, he transferred the technique of ground fighting and submissions. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was born and a martial art revolution was created with it. Now that we have discussed a glimpse of Jiu-Jitsu's history, we'll discuss how this ancient martial art influenced modern combat sports. The most impressive display regarding the functionality of Jiu-Jitsu was when Royce Gracie entered the octagon at UFC 1 in 1993. A relatively small fighter, he competed against bigger and physically larger opponents. Amazingly, he submitted them one by one with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu moves. At this moment, he predicted a new era in MMA as we know it today and proved to the world that technique could overcome strength. Jiu-Jitsu became the cornerstone of MMA and influenced fighters of all styles. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brought about the striking versus grappling debate as strikers quickly found their need for ground skills. Today, the most MMA fighters view Jiu-Jitsu as essential, hence a more well-rounded approach has developed whereby athletes cross-train in several disciplines to be prepared for any situation that may arise. Besides Royce Gracie, other fighters have helped fill Jiu-Jitsu's actual position within MMA. Damian Maia and brothers Nick and Nate Diaz have all been highly successful in dominating opponents and winning key fights because of their mastery of Jiu-Jitsu. Their successes have further popularized Jiu-Jitsu among martial arts, making it the most respected and studied within MMA. Having discussed how Jiu-Jitsu has created the present of combat sports, let us now look to its future. Jiu-Jitsu's evolution never stops with newer, more creative training methods and technologies. In the years to come, sports science will help athletes perfect their techniques by using motion capture and data analysis with virtual reality may simulate the real-time grapple. These changes will make jiu-jitsu training more efficient and accessible. Grappling-only tournaments like ADCC are gaining popularity, showcasing jiu-jitsu in its purest form without strikes. We may see more specialized leagues and global recognition for grappling as its discipline, further securing jiu-jitsu's role in MMA and dedicating grappling sports. Today, we have covered the rich history of jiu-jitsu from its origins in feudal Japan to its role in modern-day MMA. We've seen how its techniques have transformed the world of combat sports and explored its future through innovation and new competition formats. As we've seen, Jiu-Jitsu has evolved from a battlefield art into one of the most dominant martial arts in combat sports today, and its future looks equally promising. Jiu-Jitsu is more than a sport, it's evidence that technique can outplay strength. While the sport of Jiu-Jitsu continues to evolve, one thing is certain, this art form has only just begun, leaving its mark on the combat sports.